Thank you for joining us here on the News at 10.
Thank you for having me.
And I hope you do feel well and you have been coping with the lockdown also. So
Very
what do you
well.
make of the president's speech? There were lots of anxieties about what the president was going to say tonight. I'm not sure it went the way people hoped it would.
I think it was a very welcome speech, very sensitive to the mood of the nation, a pleasant surprise to many, including me. And it showed that the president actually listened to the various stakeholders that have spoken in the last 1 week, calling for a significant modification of the lockdown policy because of the severe impact it was beginning to have on the economy and the livelihood of the people. And he touched all the both things. He praised the frontline workers. He admonished law enforcement officials not to engage in abuse of human rights, exempted Kano, that Kano was required a significant lockdown to deal with the situation there. So for me, he hit all the right buttons. A few areas one would have liked him to touch, but I think in general, well, I thought he should have harped a little more on what the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 said earlier today, which is the under-declaration by some states and some state governors of the rate of infection in those states. The inability of some states to actually take advantage of the lockdown period to significantly prepare, even if their states have not been affected. It was only a matter of time because this is a virus that is going to travel before a vaccine is found. So, but in general, I really like the speech.
Yeah, and it's amazing how much the virus, people have contracted the virus, considering that, Lagos and, some major states have also imposed a lockdown and restriction measures. So it's just amazing how much they have spread. But how do you see, the new changes made to the lockdown, especially, as they will be modified from May 4th? How do you think Lagosians especially will respond to this, as well as people who are in the other states in the country, with the president giving governors powers now to go ahead and modify as much as they can?
You see, I belong to a think tank on COVID-19 that was set up by ANAP Foundation, and we meet weekly to take the pulse of the nation. We have contact from across the country that reported to the meetings, and the general message was that the lockdown needed to be significantly modified. So that's why I welcome it, and I think majority of the people out there would also see it that way. However, a lot still needs to be done in the area of the guidelines, how detailed it is, how prepared the states are as we go into the period of allowing businesses to reopen, in the period of allowing people to move about. Will they observe the social distancing? Will they wear the face masks that was talked about? Who will produce the state masks? It is the same people that have not earned livelihood within this period that will be expected to purchase the face mask. And also, when you tell people to wash hands with soap, we forget that many of the public places that people meet, you don't have pipe-borne water. Are they going to sink boreholes and provide tanks and soap so that people who are coming into market or business areas will take advantage of them? And then the other one is the level of obedience that Nigerians bring to issues like this. I must say that our level of discipline needs to be improved upon so that we know that this is really a life or death matter. Government relaxing the lockdown doesn't mean that we should go back to business as usual. So it really calls for all hands on deck. The government needs to do more at various levels, state, federal, and local level. Public spirited individuals, philanthropic organizations need to come in to support, to make sure that all that needs to be in place before May 4th is reasonably achieved, so that we can have a situation where we won't go, because some people were talking about earlier today, Ghana, after a week of relaxing, within the last 24 hours, they've witnessed 270 fresh infections, and that's beginning to scare people whether that would indeed be the case here.
Yeah, and that's a point people also need to remember, that even if you have survived the virus, you do not develop immunity against it. Thank you again, Mr. Innocent Chukwuma, for being here on the News at 10, and do stay safe.
Thank you so much for having me.